the City of Cedar Falls Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for January 11th, 2017. Mr. Seymour, could we have the roll call, please?
Absolutely. Arnson?
Here.
Dunning?
Here.
Jeruso?
Here.
Hartley?
Here.
Holst?
Here.
Leeper?
Here.
Oberly?
Here.
Saul?
Here.
And Wingard.
Here.
All members present tonight.
Great, thank you. Next, to approve the minutes from our last meeting, is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. The minutes are approved. Next item, look to the audience for any public comments. And seeing none, we do not have any old business this evening, but we do have 2 items of new business. The first is the Community United Child Care Center site plan review. And Mr. Graham, if you would introduce this item for us, please.
Sure, thank you. So what we have here is a request for a site plan review for a new 19,900 square foot child care center. This is located on Lot 5 of Green Hill Village 5th Edition. It is zoned MU, multiple use residential district, which is site plan specific, so that's why this site plan is before you today. This plat was approved by the commission back in May of 2016, the final plat. It's not completely done yet. The road is not done and some of the infrastructure is not quite done yet. So we will hold off on sending this to council for final approval until the final plat has been approved by city council. Once all those improvements are done, we're expecting that to be done here this spring, as soon as winter's over. So this would be located on Lot 5, which would be at the southwest corner of, would be New Fountains Way there on the map, and Ashworth Drive. The site plan that they included shows the building kind of towards the rear half of the property, with the parking in front along what would be New Fountains Way. They are providing 44 parking stalls, which would be more than adequate for what the use is, so it would meet the parking requirements. You can see the building, and then behind the building on the south side would be some open play areas, some fenced-in areas for the children to be outside. I tried to circle a couple of the things on the site plan. At the northeast corner is the sign location. It would appear to meet all the sign requirements. It's outside of any easements or site triangles. There's a dumpster enclosure located at the northwest corner of the building. That will be a fully enclosed dumpster enclosure. And then they did also provide a location for bike racks on the west side of the building. The hashed area, the dotted line, they are showing a sidewalk connection, a pedestrian connection from their property to the public sidewalk along Ashworth. And there will be a public sidewalk put in both on Ashworth and Fountains Way. One of the staff comments, which we'll see in our recommendation, is that staff would like to see a pedestrian connection to Fountains Way as well. And I did talk with the architect, and they'll be working on bringing that back. One, because if you look back, Lot 1 of the Green Hill Village, that will be a new Casey's, and you remember reviewing that site plan not too long ago. And so we're anticipating some commercial development out here and would like to have the ability for a pedestrian connection to Fountains Way for anyone that would like to, get up to Fountains Way or walk to Casey's or walk to any other commercial development out here. So they did provide a landscaping plan. The landscaping plan does appear to be adequate. They are showing a number of street trees both along Ashworth Drive and Fountains Way to meet the street tree points. They are meeting the parking lot trees, showing trees and shrubs within the parking islands, and then also some shrubs and other plantings in front of the building as well. So looking at the building elevations, these are just 2 different angles of looking at it from at the front of the building. So this would be if you're standing on Fountains Way looking at the front of the building. You can see the 2 different angles. It's a 1-story building with some fencing in the front. And then the next slide here is the rear of the building, and you can kind of see in the back there is where will have the fenced-in areas with some of the soft surfaces for the children if they want to be outside and be playing at all. Some of the materials that they're going to use will be mainly brick, some cement fiber paneling, some corrugated metal paneling, some concrete block and some metal flashing along the fascia. One of the things that, I'll take you back to one of the building elevations, is there's an angled roof, a single slope roof. You can see it's kind of in a couple different spots. It slopes kind of front to back and back to front in a couple locations. One of the things the MU district looks at in the building design is the compatibility of roof pitch. One of the things that staff looked at is with the proposed Casey's that is not there yet, but the site plan has been approved, and the existing commercial building that's just to the west of that. Those do utilize flat roofs. They're mainly a brick building with a flat roof. And then when you look directly to the east across Ashworth Drive, you have some condominiums and then some townhomes going to the south, which are your standard hip and gable style roofs. So although this roof wouldn't be exactly compatible, I think staff reviewed that and did see this as a nice transition from the residential style roofs to the east and to the south, and then your more retail commercial looking roofs, the flat roofs with the mainly brick buildings a little further to the west, and then what we anticipate going along Green Hill Road to the north. So I think staff is comfortable with the design of the building and the roof compatibility element there too. One of the things I think staff will get with the owner of the property is to look at the open lot to the west. I'll go back one here quick. Lot 4, which is undeveloped at this time, we'll look at them to have a similar compatibility with this building in order to keep that transition between the residential to the south and to the east. Whereas we're looking at like lots 1, 2, and 3 will be more of your typical retail commercial style looks with flat roofs and more brick in that. So I think staff is comfortable with the design of this at this time. And obviously we'd take your thoughts into consideration as well. So at this time, it is the recommendation. This is just for discussion today only. We'll bring it back on the 25th in 2 weeks for a vote. But at that time, we would be recommending approval of it subject to the stipulation, anything that you guys may have, any comments. And then also working on adding that pedestrian connection to Fountains Way on the north side.
Thank you. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to this item? Any questions, discussion from the commission?
I just have to point out that I have to abstain on this one.
Well, it looks like a very stylish building, and it should add a lot of character to that development that's out there. Obviously, a little bit different style, okay? But when you take a look at the buildings to the east, apartment buildings are, we've kind of had some austere discussions about those in the past, and this will add some character to the neighborhood. I think it looks good.
And I think staff felt that this type of building, this use, if you put a flat roof on it, it would probably look out of context more than it would in context for that location. So I think we're very comfortable with the roof design here. And again, Shane's point of letting the developer know that the expectation on the lot immediately to the west will be the same for this type of use or for that type of building, going with the flat roofs along Green Hill Road and the brick building. So we think it's a logical transition here, and it's a pretty attractive building for that type of use.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, thank you. We'll save that item for our next meeting on the 25th. Our next agenda item is the Wilbo and Root facade review. And Ms. Lehman, if you would introduce this item, please.
Thank you. So the owner of 116, 118 Main Street is preparing to renovate both the front and rear facades of her building. For reference, this is both Wilbo and Root downtown, the two businesses. Located in the central business district, all significant changes to the exterior of the building needs to be reviewed and approved by both planning and zoning and city council. So that's why it's here in front of you today. I will give you a quick summary of the proposed changes, but more details can be found in the staff report and in the attachments to that staff report. So here in front of you is an image of the current facade of 116 and 118 Main Street. The existing seathing, what will be done, and I'll try to show you with my cursor here. Seathing will be removed above these windows and be opened up, and then window will be put in to bring back kind of the original look of that facade. Another door, a new door will be added to the upstairs rental unit. It'll be the same look, just new for tactical purposes. New signage will be added on 118 right above the main door, right here. And then both buildings will be given a new paint job, both the front and rear of the building. So the changes I explained before are shown here to you. As you can see, both are completely, have a new paint look. Both will use the same gray as kind of the main backdrop. And then Wilbo will use blue and gold highlights to kind of accentuate the architectural features, and then Root pink and white. Those colors were chosen to help reflect the main logos of the two businesses that are tenants within. Looking at the back of the building, here you see a picture of what's currently there and what's being proposed. In summary, the plaster will be repaired as required and will be painted, and it'll be the same colors as the front, so the same gray, and then the pink and the blue and yellow kind of used to differentiate the two entrances. There'll be new double-hung windows on the second floor, so these openings will be opened again and windows be put in. 118's door will be replaced and a new stoop put in. And the window on the first floor of 118 will be opened up and a window put in, so it will no longer be boarded. And the wires that you see along 118 and the conduits and cables will be cleaned up to give it a more official and welcoming look. Community Main Street reviewed the proposed changes on December 16th and had favorable comments. The proposed changes also meet all the city's design criteria. The changes are consistent with the existing buildings in the area and will bring the building back and closer to its original state. With that, staff is recommending approval of the proposed facade changes for 116 and 118 Main Street.
Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this item? Please state your name and address.
I'm Dave Ferris, 215 Colorado Road, and I'm really here just to answer any questions that anyone might have, but otherwise I think Iris said it very well and it was pretty straightforward.
Questions?
Appreciate the efforts to bring the building together and also differentiate some of those.
Thank you, and we're very excited about being able to do that too.
Thank you.
No one wants to grill me
Appreciate
over
it.
Thank you.
Nice changes.
I think it looks great. Any other discussion?
I just have to abstain on this one also.
No other discussion. We'll look for a motion to approve.
I move that we approve.
I second.
Please go ahead and vote. And we have all ayes and 2 abstentions. So that item is approved and we'll move on to City Council. That concludes our agenda items. We'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor, please signify with aye.
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 Thank you. We are adjourned.